Well, how y'all doing today? Hope y'all having a blessed day. It's almost 9 a.m. here in Little Rock, Arkansas. And it's somewhere between 65 and 70 degrees here. We have entered into that where it's cool in the morning, cool in the evening, but still hot during the day. I have to say that I wondered why, for the longest time, I didn't see the squirrels out during the day. Last year, the squirrels and the chipmunks were all over the place during the day. And then I realized it's because we had such a hot summer. A lot of people are having a hot summer. And they're just out foraging in the morning and in the evening when it's cooler. It's just too hot for them. Anyway, it was a pretty uneventful weekend here in my little hood. Except for one incident. And the people that I had posted a video on this before, and somebody had taken a grill down there to the pool. Now, I figure they're new tenants, but still, in the lease, it says no grills anywhere on the property per fire marshal, which really sucks, but, is what it is. And they don't, every month we get a notice, a flyer, and it said no grilling on the patios or the balconies, but it didn't say anything about the pool. And I have a feeling that crap's going to change. In the next flyer we get, it's going to state that. It's going to clarify that. And I went down and had talked to them, but apparently they tried to pull it again this weekend without taking it to the pool. Now, I figure they're new tenants, but it states that right in the lease. And now, I don't get up to the other end of the complex that much. I don't know a whole lot of people there. Some people come walking through here, walk their animals, and I'll say hello to them. But no, I don't know everybody that lives down there. But apparently, they tried to pull that again this weekend. And now, I sit here sometimes with my door open just to have a break, change of scenery, if you will. And I heard somebody getting loud, and I was like, what? Looking down that way. And I couldn't make out what they were saying, but, ooh, buddy, they got loud. And then I could make out what they were saying, and it was a woman, and she said, oh, no, she didn't. And I knew exactly what was going on, because when I went down to the pool, because I was the only one that had the balls to go down there, say something to them people, they said the same thing to me. They said, oh, Miss Karen, which is management here, said we could. Apparently, they pulled the same thing on that woman. And that's when she got really loud, and buddy, I could make out what she was saying then. Oh, no, she didn't. I've already had a talk with her, and ain't nobody on this property allowed to have a grill. And I don't blame her. Now, when I tried to call during the holiday weekend, pardon me, the mailbox was full, and no doubt it was full from people calling and saying, hey, somebody's got a grill going here. Because, who don't like to grill? Pardon me, who don't like to grill, right? Especially on a holiday. And when my son come down and visit me on his birthday in April, I would have loved to have a grill. And this woman was pissed off. It was like, in every sense of the word, don't hand me that bullshit. So, yeah, other than that, it was a pretty quiet weekend. I have a feeling they didn't grill. But, they've been forewarned in the lease and in the monthly flyers and everything. They just think they're special. So, and that crap ain't going to happen. So, yeah. So, other than that, it was a pretty quiet weekend, but I can understand that. I can understand people being pissed off about that. Now, we're surrounded by parks here, okay, on the edge of Little Rock. it's very touristy. And there are parks where you can go and grill. So if I could get to one of them parks, I would go and grill enough to last me a week, and freeze some of it and everything. And it is what it is. But yeah, they put a stop to that. And my neighbor pointed out to me that one of the columns underneath my porch was completely detached and bent over. And when I seen maintenance this morning, I said, hey, something's done happened to this pole down here. And I looked down at it, and I said, oh, my goodness. I mean, this thing wasn't even attached to the bottom of this balcony anymore. And he said, be careful walking because it's not attached. So when maintenance got here, I called him over. And he said, we got to get over here and put in some new screws and stuff. And this is the second time it's happened. I said, really? I said, why do you think anybody would do that? He said, well, they probably just tearing stuff up. Well, a lot of people have guests over. And we are responsible for our guests and our lease. But, people don't pay attention to that. So, they came over and just banged it back into place, and they're going to put some screws in there. And I told my neighbor told me about it, and I said, well, you know what, back in the day, it didn't matter how messed up I got, which I really didn't get that messed up. I said, I never did shit like that. But if you look over there at that stockade fence, they have replaced a lot of it because people will have guests over here on the weekend, and they just don't know when to stop. They've gone into that fence and broke some of the boards, and they've had to replace some of the boards, and it is what it is, So, I done seen my favorite neighbor, Hayden, this morning, and he's doing laundry, and I asked him, well, can you run to the store for me? I hate to ask you this because I know that man has worked all night. Now, he got a new job. He just started it, and he's working at a television station in production. He said, sure, I'll go for you. And he was doing laundry, and he had this fabric softener sheet, no name, and I said, do you like Bounce? And he said, I do. I said, let me hook you up. And I gave him some Bounce. And we help each other. People, that's the way it ought to be. All right? So, I appreciate him, and he appreciates me. Very young man. And I'm so glad to see him getting along, in this life and getting ahead. And he was out here one morning when he come home about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I get up all times of the night. And, doing stuff, and I was out here looking at my garden. He stopped to talk to me. He had a fistful of papers, and I was talking to him. He says, there's a lot of paperwork done with this job. And I said, don't they give you a computer? I mean, can't you do it on a computer? He said, it's a lot of paperwork. But oh yeah, it's done on a computer. And I started laughing. And I told him back in my day, you had to do all that crap by hand. Paperwork, you were filling it out by hand. There was no such thing as a computer. And I thought that was so funny. I mean, yeah, they type it up and they print it out, but back in the day, you did all that stuff by hand. So, it's going to be a beautiful day. Pest control's coming in today. I'm looking forward to that. I really am, because I keep my place clean. They like to come in here and exterminate. They have complimented me on how well I keep my house and everything like that, and which automatically, I hate to say this, but automatically that makes me think, what have they seen? Some of the other apartments, but that's all right, as long as it don't affect me. Now, for a couple, 3 months, pest control didn't show up, and I called the office. They did show up, and then I called the office. I said, I was glad to see pest control. I haven't seen them because that's included in our rent in about 3 months. She said, I didn't think you had any problems with that. And I said, no, ma'am, I don't, and I don't want to. I said, you got people moving in and out of here and stuff like that, and, you never know what they're going to bring, or if somebody had them and the apartment's empty, they spread out and stuff like that. And no, I don't want anything like that. I work hard to keep my apartment clean, and it is hard for me. It's not like it was. It definitely is not like it was. Having RA and everything, it slows me down. There's my neighbor Hayden. He's going to be coming up here. So, pest control starts showing up again. And, anyway, I gotta go. My neighbor's here. Y'all have a blessed day. Please leave your comments. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.